Hi yogis, welcome back to the practice. Today's class is all about doing some yoga for better posture. So if you haven't already, go ahead and roll out your mat and come to an easy seated pose. I'm coming into my easy seat with legs crossed, hands onto the knees, and closing my eyes to the outward gaze. You can inhale, shoulders to the ears. Exhale, relax them back and down, pulling shoulder blades together. And we'll do this a few more times. So inhale, shoulders to the ears. Exhale, relax them back and down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back and down. And just begin to find your breath here, noticing your body. Feeling any kind of sway in the back. Anywhere you can send a little bit more love to, if you feel any kind of tension in your upper back. Maybe you feel hunched over when you're working, or notice when you're sleeping, just that gap underneath that lumbar, that lower back. And just take a moment to notice, doing that full body scan in the back of your body. As you take the next exhale, allowing that exhale to sit in the lowest part of your spine. And inhale slowly, working your way past the back of the heart and through the crown of your head. And just begin to notice our body and awaken it for today's practice. You can open the eyes and inhale the arms up towards the sky. And exhale it back down, hands settling by the hips. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lift everything up nice and tall. And exhale, relax them back down by the hips. On the next inhale, we'll bring the arms all the way up. This time we'll twist to the right. So exhale, right hand comes behind the back, left hand to that right knee, and just gently twist here. You can look over the left shoulder, over the right. Inhale over the left. Exhale over the right. Inhale over the left shoulder. Exhale, look over the right. Come to inhale back to center, hands come up towards the sky. And we'll do the same on the other side. Left hand places behind the back, right hand on top of left knee. Inhale that length in your spine. You can begin to move the head if that feels comfortable to you. Inhale over right shoulder. Exhale, looking over the left. Inhale to the front. Exhale, look behind. Inhale once more, looking over the right shoulder. Exhale, look over the left. Come back to center as we inhale, hands up to the sky. Exhale, hands down against the knees. If you like to here, you can begin to stir the seat of the soul. Like I said, just waking up the body for the rest of today's practice. Getting it used to the movement. As you inhale, want your heart to find its way forward. Exhale, rounding the back. Just do what feels comfortable for you. You can reverse that direction, keeping everything nice and even. And as soon as you feel content, allow your hands to come towards the top of your mat. Knees about hip distance apart. We have our toes tucked under to protect the integrity of our knees. And we'll come into our cat-cow sequence. So on the inhale, you want to tilt the pelvis forward. Inhale to gaze up, the crown of the head is lifting. And exhale into your cat pose, navel in towards the spine, really pulling in here, dropping the crown of the head. Go ahead, inhale back to cow. Remember that tilt in the pelvis. Exhale, pull everything into cat. Emptying that last bit of air in here. And go ahead and find your own pace. As soon as you begin to feel comfortable, maybe you invite some spinal waves here. What I like to do is inhale forward into a cow. Exhale back into cat. And just begin to flow through this. You can go ahead and put it in the opposite direction. Just uniting body and breath as always. Feeling into your body. The next time you inhale back to center, we'll have those toes tucked if they aren't already. And allow the hips to sit back and onto the heels. Lifting the chest up and finding this alignment in the body. You can go ahead and readjust. I did bring my knees closer together. Allow your hands to be placed effortlessly on top of your thighs, rolling the shoulders back. Maybe you want your shoulders stacked right on top of the hips. Maybe closing your eyes to the outward gaze and just noticing. Feeling that activation in your feet. Noticing your posture as you sit in this pose. When I'm in this pose, I like to think that there's like a string in my body connecting with my spine and it's lifting me upwards, but still grounded through the hips and rooting through the feet. We'll stay here for 2 more breaths. You're almost there. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, feel that grounding. Inhale one more time. And on the exhale, go ahead, slide your hands down your thighs onto your mat, walking it forward. You can pat out the tops of your feet. It might feel a little bit different depending how long you held the pose, but it gets better over time. So once you pat out your feet, I'm going to go ahead, tuck my toes again and let my knees hover and gently walk my way up into a halfway lift. So you can have your fingertips on the ground or maybe hands against your shins, your thighs, and lifting the gaze towards the horizon. Exhale, forward fold down. Allow your neck to release. You can look from side to side. And on the inhale, gently rise up 1 vertebrae at a time, bringing hands up overhead, and exhale, hands to heart center. You can stay right here. I'm letting my feet come about hip distance apart. You can have hands at heart center or allow the hands to just float, palms facing out in front of you for mountain pose. You can close your eyes, notice your body, the foundation of your feet, the alignment of your spine. Noticing where the tension is, where you need to show more love to with the breath. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, send the breath where you need it the most. Turning your palms to face the back of your mat now. Allow them to clasp together behind the back and pulling down to release the shoulders. Maybe you look up towards the ceiling. And just embrace this gentle back bend. Nice deep inhale as the chest lifts up a little bit higher. And on the exhale, you can keep your hands clasped together as you hinge from the hips, coming into a forward fold. You can allow a gentle bend in the knees. If the hands clasp together, it's putting too much tension on your shoulders. Allow the hands to rest on your lower back. And when you're ready to come out the pose, have them rest at the lower back before releasing them down to the ground. letting the head hang heavy, releasing the shoulders, and just breathe into the curve of the spine. If you like to, you can come into ragdoll here by bringing the hands onto the elbows. Head continues to hang heavy, and you can gently sway the hips from side to side to move the rest of your body. Breathing gently here. As soon as you're ready to come out of your ragdoll, allow the hands to grace the mat. You can inhale, halfway lift, just to give yourself a little bit of a break from being upside down so long. And on the exhale, forward fold down, placing the hands on the ground as you bend the knees, and walking your feet back to a downward facing dog. Actively push the mat away with the hands, and you can take your vinyasa here or child's pose if it's in your practice. Exhale, come back to downward facing dog. If you're in child's pose, return to your downward facing dog as well. And on the next inhale, look between your hands and gently walk your feet up there. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold down. Inhale up. One vertebrae at a time, bringing hands up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now I'm turning to face you as we come into our eagle postures for today. So for eagle, you can use a block in this practice as well, so I'll show you a few iterations. So first, you want to ground down to the mat with your feet, toes spread wide. And we'll start with our right foot being our foundation. So feet spread out wide. We'll gently lift the left foot just to notice all that weight going into the right. And on the inhale, we'll spread the arms out wide. And since the left foot is on top, right hand will be on top. So allow the right hand to cross over the left, bending in towards your face. And if this is a little intense, you can always bring hands on top of the shoulders. So feel free to stay right here, feeling that balance in the right leg. You can cross the left leg over the right like this, bending the knees, floating the hips back, straight spine, engaged belly. If you like to bring a block in here, the block will go underneath that lifted leg to assist that twist. If you want to continue this a little bit further, you can allow that left leg to twist behind the right calf and just sit deep into this pose. Keeping your gaze straight. Remember to engage that belly. It's okay if you fall out. And on the inhale, come to rise, undo the hands, undo the leg, and begin to shake it out. So you want to try the block next time or a different iteration, go ahead, sit that block on the other side of your body. As you finish shaking it out, go ahead, bring that left foot as your new foundation, spreading out the toes. If the left leg is going to be up, the left leg, if the right leg is going to be up, the left hand will be on top. So go ahead, inhale, open the chest, expand the arms out wide. Then left hand goes over the right and twist into your preferred hand placement. Once you feel comfortable with your arms here, go ahead and lift that right leg up and find your twist of choice. That can be your block, that can be crossing the shin, or hugging behind. Sitting the hips back, engaging the core, find that straight back. And lifting the elbows to be in line with the shoulders if you can. Inhale once more. Exhale that stability. And on the next inhale, go ahead and unravel slowly, standing up, releasing the arms and shaking it out. You can keep your block nearby just in case you want to use it again. Once you're done shaking it out, go ahead, find yourself back at the top of your mat. And we'll inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold, hinging from the hips. Nice little bend in the knees. And exhale, walk your feet back into downward facing dog. Feeling the full engagement of this pose. This is a very active pose here. Stepping your feet out. Letting the gaze sit between the thighs. Or looking at the belly button. And you can take your vinyasa here. Or come into child's pose. For this child's pose, I have my knees splayed out towards the sides of the mat, big toes together, hips release back, belly comes forward, and resting your head on the mat. Go ahead, inhale into that lower back. Exhale to melt. Once more, inhale to the lower back. Exhale, melt. On the next inhale, come to release back into your cat-cow pose, that tabletop pose. And re-energize your spine in the way you see fit. Once you feel ready, we're going to go ahead and bring our hands to either side of our body so that we can bring our feet in front of us. Flexing them as if we're sitting up against the wall. And for today's practice, we'll be practicing our half Lord of the Fish pose. So on the inhale, bring your right knee up towards the ceiling. That right foot is coming in towards the body. And you can stay right here. Or you can allow that right foot to step over left thigh. Allowing the back to be nice and straight. If it's in your practice, you can allow the left knee to bend, inviting that left foot over to the right hip. And find the modification that works best for you. This is almost a continuation of the eagle pose. If you feel like your hips need a bit of a rest, you can start with that first iteration as we focus on twisting the upper body now. On the inhale, allow the hands to come up towards the sky. And on the exhale, we'll twist into that lifted knee. So twist to the right. Right hand comes behind the back. And you can stay right here. Or maybe you inhale, lift that left hand up. I like the palm to face to the right side that I'm twisting. So as you inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, look over the right shoulder. Go ahead, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen that twist. Feel free to take control of your practice here, playing around with the modifications. Even adding a block or blanket wherever you need it to. Inhale once more. Exhale, feeling into this twist. And on the next inhale, Go ahead, return the body back to center, not unraveling your legs yet. As we do a small counter twist, so this time turn to the left. Just for about one breath. And go ahead, return back to center on the exhale. Releasing the legs. And extending them back forward to the front of the mat. Flexing your feet as if they're sitting against the wall. We're going to bring this over to the other side. You can bounce the legs if you like. To find yourself sitting well. And this time, inhale, left knee into the chest. Left foot sitting as close to the body as you can. And we can stay right here. Maybe do the variation of the foot jumping across the right thigh. And if it's comfortable for you, go ahead, bend that right knee. Right foot's going towards that left hip. And as you begin to sit comfortably, feeling the openness of the hips as we did that ankle pose, go ahead, inhale, arms up towards the sky. And exhale to twist into that left foot. So turn to the left. Left hand guides behind the back. You can inhale, right hand up. Then do that same breathing pattern as we did on the other side. So inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale to look over the left shoulder. And keep repeating this process. Inhale. Exhale, look over the left shoulder. If you need a break, feel free to look over right, back over to the left, go over right, and release to the left. On the inhale, return back to your center. As we continue over to the counter pose, right hand comes behind the back. Stay here for about one breath. Exhale, return to center. And gently unraveling your legs. You can extend them out, shake them out. And then as we come into our recline postures, go ahead, place the bottoms of your feet onto the mat, scooting your hips up, and relaxing your back down onto your mat. We can come into some spinal twists here, taking a variation that you love. The one I would like for us to try today is to inhale our hips up, invite them over to the right side of your mat, and go ahead and land the legs over to the left side. You can inhale, right hand over to the right side, opening up the chest. And the gaze will sit over the right hand. You can remember that breathing pattern from that half lord of the fish posture. As you inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale to look out over your right hand. One more breath here. On the inhale, return everything to center, aligning your spine with the spine of the mat. As we take the spinal twist to the other side, so this time inhale, hips up. Invite them over to the left side of your mat. Knees drop over to the right side. And inhale your left hand over to the left side of your mat, guiding the gaze that way as well. Inhale, feel that length in your spine. Exhale, deepen that twist. Prioritizing your comfort over everything here. And taking one more deep breath. And On the next inhale, align your spine with the spine of your mat as you bring the knees in towards the chest and allow yourself to rock around here. You can come into happy baby or take any pose you'd like to close out your practice before Shavasana. And when you're ready, exhale, release your feet to the bottom corners of your mat. Hands lay effortlessly towards the sides. You can inhale, shoulders to the ears. Exhale, invite that space under the neck. Closing your eyes to the outward gaze. As you relax in Shavasana for 7 minutes, meditating on your natural breath. Begin to return to now. Inhaling new life into your body. You can begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. As you start to awaken the breath, go ahead and take to your favorite side, resting in the fetal position. Keeping your gaze low or the eyes closed. You can softly push your way back up into your meditative seat, ending the class as we began. As you find yourself seated well, completely grounded, go ahead and inhale both the hands towards the sky. And exhale, hands to heart center. I thank you for sharing your practice with me. And may you continue to embrace your radiance. Ashe. Thank you for practicing with me, and I'll see you next class. Bye.